Determination that is incorruptible, from the other side of terror to behold. Annihilation will be unavoidable. Every broken enemy will know that their opponent had to be invincible, said Rockers Disturbed.
Nice.
What's up, Joe? Welcome to Industry Outlaws United, IOU for short. I'm your host, Brandon E. Brooks. Right in the box next to me is the man with the Indie Escape Plan, Joe Ridgely. How are you, Joe?
I am excellent. Glad to be here on another Friday night. What's going on with you?
Oh, man, it's been a long week. A lot of screenwriting, meetings about financing for films. And I'm prepping to head down to Orlando, Florida to work on Lou Simone's amazing Rear Window retelling film. So I'm looking forward to that. And so it's going to be a packed up upcoming week. And what's going on with you, brother?
Well, I'm curious. So you're going to be down here in Florida for a couple of weeks, and we're not sure if we're broadcasting next Friday or the Friday after.
To be continued. We will be having a very, very special guest one of the next 2 weeks, but I will let you know as soon as I know. But it's all technology, figuring it out and stuff like that while I'm in Florida. So, but we have some exciting things going on with our team too. I know there's some stuff with Steve.
Steve is doing the Steve Gray Story Mash project. Gonna have some writers from the Indie Escape and also some writers from the community. What they're doing is they're going chapter by chapter, each individually writing. It's gonna be freaking amazing. And what else we got? We have and Scott Meany is almost through building his set for Afterlife Tonight. That will be broadcasted on Saturday nights on the Indie Escape Network.
That is going to be a banger. We love the spectacular.
Spectacular.
Yes, absolutely.
And wait, there's more. Okay, we had to do what the cool kids did, and I'm still trying to figure it out. We're on TikTok now, but we're not on TikTok to make asses out of ourselves. We're just going to be playing clips, I guess, and best of scenes, kind of.
I don't have one yet, but I have to get one now, I guess, to play along with the family. So yeah. So
it's experimental stage.
We'll see how that goes. But but let's just get this party started. We got our guests waiting, and can you play his tribute video for the week, please?
I absolutely can. All right. Before we bring your guest up, I just want to hit a couple of these comments. El Diablo saying technology is the worst. He's referring to TikTok. And we got Lauren. Howdy ho, everybody. And I just wanted to show, I was trying to get in the groove. So this is what I watched this week, which
nice.
Yes, it was good to see that after so many years again. So.
Yes, one of the good fight flicks. So without further ado, one of the coolest cats I've met in the business, Thom Mathews.
Hey,
how
are you? You guys covered just about everything in that promo, man.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, man. It's long career, brother. Yeah. Thanks for joining me tonight on IOU. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Yeah. So let's get right into it. I always ask my guests to give us a little feedback on their upbringing, like where you're from, and middle class, low class, how
definitely. Let's see. Well, we didn't, like some of my other famous friends who didn't have to move every time the rent was due when they were coming up, and now they're Uber. But I guess middle class. Yeah. I was actually born on Hollywood Boulevard, believe it or not.
Ooh.
And I grew up in Covina, which is probably 45 minutes east of Los Angeles, and then ended up coming back out to Pasadena for my junior year in high school. My mom remarried, and then I ended up my senior year at Fairfax High School in Hollywood, graduating.
Oh.
And then was kind of floundering and got into acting soon after that. Started studying for 3 years and started doing commercials, and did The Woman in Red. The Woman in Red was my first film, and then Return of the Living Dead was my first big part in a feature. So
let's back up a little bit. Was young Thom always a dreamer? Did you dream of any of this acting, modeling, any of that stuff?
No, not at all. No, I just kind of, what was I doing? Early Thom, what did he do? Did sports. He did paper routes, I like to have money in my pocket. So I was I started cleaning yards when I was like 13 years old, doing yard work for neighbors and stuff. And they give me a couple bucks. And so kind of went like that. I remember going, my grandparents lived in Hollywood on my mom's side. And I remember as a kid, whenever we go to visit them, I remember sticking my hand in my grandfather's pockets and taking out all his change. His pockets were so deep too, man. It's just like a sense memory. It's a really amazing memory that I have of that. But I guess we were poor. I don't know. We never really. I do remember. I guess we were poor because I remember my mom raiding my piggy bank, and I was upset. I was really upset. And she said, "Well, we had to eat, so I guess we hit some tough times." But I never knew it. My dad was in construction, so he built a very modest, small house that we lived in. He built the garage into the boys' room because I have two brothers. One's 16 months older than I am. The other one's 11 months younger than I am. And so he converted our two-car garage into our bedroom.
Oh,
It had huge, tall ceilings. It's a two-car garage. It's not that big.
Yeah.
But when you're like 6, 7, 8, it's
huge.
It's a big room with the pitch ceilings and stuff like that. So, I don't ever remember not eating. We did get in a lot of trouble growing up. Oh my God, my poor parents. Well, 3 boys. I mean, my mom had 3 boys by the time she was 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless her. Oh man. Did you always love TV and movies, or
always loved TV. I always loved TV. I remember as a kid going back to that house. We had this long hallway, and at the end of it, you turn, and then you go into the living room. Yeah. And at the end of the hallway, there's a wall heater, and it had louvers in it. So I couldn't sleep at night when I was a kid. So I'd get up and I'd go down the hallway, and I'd lay there in front of the heater because I could see through the louvers, and the $1 million movie was on TV.
Oh yeah,
$1 million movie. I mean, that was like the ultimate, right? So I would watch the movie, and I would watch my parents watch the movie. So, and it was cozy. The heater was there. It was, it was warm. It was like a pillow. It was great. And I would sneak back and go to bed. So yeah, that was like a regular thing for me. Always loved movies. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite movies?
Some of my the Godfather series is great. Godfather 2 is the best sequel ever made. Movies like that. There's so many great movies.
Absolutely.
Older movies, more dramatic movies. I wasn't big on the airplane movies. I didn't really get those, and the slapstick stuff. Didn't really understand it. That's not my. I mean, even today, I'll look for
something dramatic. Yeah.
Dramatic.
Just want to say hello to Scott Meany, Jason Buterin, CJ Robles, all amazing Indie Escape fellow podcasters, saying what's up tonight to us. Thanks for watching, guys. So Thom, like you mentioned, Woman in Red, which Jason just said, was that Kelly LeBrock?
That was Kelly LeBrock, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Who again, an amazing talent there. How was that a good experience for you as one of your first?
It was. I mean, it was a bigger production. Gene Wilder directed it. My stuff was with Charles Grodin, rest in peace. Just a gentleman, and everyone was great. The audition was kind of weird.
Okay, please tell.
It was just, Gene called me in, and it was just no doubt, just a handshake.
Oh,
just a handshake. So we looked deep into my eyes, and that was it.
That's awesome. Awesome. So I got to know you a little bit on the convention circuit.
You have
a few months.
Yeah, networking and shit. Yeah, I see.
Absolutely, but absolutely, man.
You're done, baby.
It's the hustle, man. But I saw it when I was doing research for this that early on you did a lot of modeling, and that doesn't seem to be the Thom that I've been hanging out with. So tell me about that process.
I did some modeling. So I got into it. So I got my SAG card. And I went to work for Lorimar Productions.
Oh yeah,
and they were doing Dallas and Knots Landing and Falcon Crest over at the MGM lot. They had a big producers building. I worked for the producers building for a department called Management Services. So my whole goal to there was to get my SAG card. They had a lot of stuff going on. So my job was to fill up the kitchens and go down in the office, which was massive, and then go down on the set because we had production offices for each production that was going on. So I was able to go down on the lot. So I'd fill up the kitchens with cookies and sodas and blah blah blah. So it took about a year and a half, but Doris Saba cast me in Knots Landing. No. Yeah, was it Knots Landing? I think it was Knots Landing. And that's how I got my SAG card. So I got my SAG card. So then I started I got an agent, and Lorimar, they gave me a beeper. Remember those things?
Oh yeah, okay. I remember.
So I had one that had 4 signals. One was from Lorimar, the production of. One was from my casting, my commercial agent. The third one was from my print agent, and the fourth one was my theatrical agent. So whenever it would go off, I would know who to call back.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Find a payphone.
So I did. So that I eventually left Lorimar and kind of spread my wings and just was out there. So I was started doing some modeling to supplement my income between getting gigs for commercial. I did a ton of commercials when I first started out too. A ton of commercials. I got like every 10th commercial that I auditioned for, which was huge. And I did that for about 3 years along with the modeling stuff. And the modeling stuff was kind of cool stuff. I remember doing an Adidas catalog out in Palm Springs. We were out there for a week. I remember doing for Lockheed Air. They were looking for fighter pilots because they were selling this prototype jet, so they needed pilots.
Oh, okay.
We did the print ad, and we also did the video of it. And we're sitting in this $1 billion jet. I mean, it was pretty cool stuff.
Wow.
Got paid a lot of money. Yeah, it was kind of
awesome.
cool.
That's
And the
awesome.
commercials, I mean, the commercials just bankrolling, just rolling in and out. Met my first wife on doing a commercial for was for Corona. No, it was for Tostitos. Tostitos chip. Kevin Sorbo was also in that commercial.
Oh, wow.
Hercules.
Yes.
Yep, Hercules. Great guy.
Awesome.
Way back when. It was so long ago.
So tell us how the part of Freddy came about for Return of the Living Dead.
Freddy came about like, you know, I had my theatrical agent. They sent me the script, and I was just happy to you know, get any audition. So I went in and read for it, and you know, thought I did pretty good, and didn't hear anything. Nothing.
Ah, okay.
For 9 months. Then I get a call back. I was like, "You got a call back? This thing is dead. It's been 9 months." He goes, "No, you got a call back." I said, "Okay." They didn't know exactly what had happened. So I go back for my call back, and Dan O'Bannon's there, the director, writer-director, and Tom Fox is there, the producer and stuff like that. When I get there, it wasn't a callback, man. They were reading girls with me. I'd been cast in it. My agents didn't tell me that. I was like, that's wild. So I was reading for, you know, girls for the role of Tina. So there's about 4 or 5 girls I was reading with, and you know, off to the races. So we're cast them, and everyone got cast. Clu Gulager got cast at the last minute because Dan did a smart thing. He had us rehearse for 2 weeks before we started principal photography.
Oh, very smart.
Totally unheard of. I don't know if it was more for us or more for him, because that was his first directorial thing. So, but it paid off. I mean, we were, you know, all those scenes were like, it looks like it's well orchestrated by Dan and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Yeah. So in one of our conversations we had at one of the conventions, you mentioned that you were up for a popular role in a big ninja film that opposite another actor that kind of looked a little bit similar to you. So you can speak a little bit about that, please?
American Ninja, screen tested for that way back when, and my family got mad at me when it came out. I didn't get the part, obviously, but Michael looks so much like me that because his head was on the poster as the American Ninja. And my family was upset at me that I didn't tell them I had a new movie coming out.
So was there any rivalry at all between that, or was that just one of the parts that just didn't happen?
No, not really. I mean, I knew Michael, you know, not really well. I knew of him. Went to a party at his house once in Manhattan Beach, I think is where it was. This is forever ago, 35 years, maybe 40 years ago now. But no rivalry.
Okay. So Tommy Jarvis, which obviously we see it right there, Thom Mathews, aka Tommy Jarvis. Yeah. So this role in Friday the 13th 6, Jason Lives. Did you first of all, I have a few questions about this. Were you aware of any of the Friday films before you took on this role?
I had seen part 1, you know, with Kevin Bacon, but other than that, I really hadn't seen everything.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so there wasn't any pressure stepping into the third version at that point of
no,
this,
not
this
for
role?
me. I just went off the script, which I thought was great, and you know, I play everything, even if it's a comedy, like a drama. So it doesn't, you know. I mean, look at Return of the Living Dead. It's really a dark comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, we're playing it for real. We're playing it serious, and it's funny because you laugh at the situations we get ourselves into. It's like,
absolutely.
I always approach the script that way, and I did the same thing for as Tommy Jarvis in Jason Lives.
So there's good vibes with you and the director Tommy McLaughlin on that.
Oh yeah. I did the audition, got the call back. There's probably 3 or 4 of us. reading for the role over at Paramount, and there was maybe 20 people in the room. Frank Mancuso Jr., who was the producer, was there, and I understand now, but I didn't know it then. Tom McLaughlin was in the room because when your nerves are going and you got so all that's going on, and I did my thing and I ended up getting cast. And
you crushed it. You crushed it, and it's my favorite Friday film. I mean, not saying that because you're on the screen, but
all the guys that were blonde and blue eyed too. They're trying to kind of Tommy growing up and carrying on John Shepard's.
So no Michael Dudikoff in that room.
No, he was not.
So any crazy or funny stories from that set? Opposite CJ Graham or on the fights in the water or anything?
CJ kind of did his own thing. He was very quiet. Didn't really interact even when he was not in makeup and had the mask on and stuff. Didn't really see much of him.
Oh, okay.
Good. Yeah, we kind of kept all that separate. Any funny stories? No, just it was a great experience. We're on location in just outside of Atlanta in Georgia, a little town called Covington.
Oh, okay.
Actually going back to camp this summer to camp out with some of the fans and stuff like that.
So nice.
Yeah.
So did you had good chemistry with Jennifer Cook, the female lead of the film?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So aside from Friday, like what obviously Friday and Return, which obviously you're known worldwide for, what would be your favorite role that you played so far?
You know what? I did about 11 Albert Pune movies.
Yes.
So he gave me a license to do a bunch of different stuff. I mean, there was one called Down Twisted. Yeah. The guy was scripted as 6'5", 240 pounds. So I'm like, okay, he was the bad guy. He was a badass bad guy. So I was like, I go to Vince's gym, man, and I'm pushing weight twice a day. I'm fucking eating protein, and I'm getting big. I'm trying to get as big as I possibly can. I'll never be taller than 6 foot because the guys, I'll never be 6'5". So I'm trying to work out and get cut and build muscle and stuff like that. And then I go ahead and I dye my hair black.
Oh, okay.
That's how we scripted, black. But man, the coloring did not look right. So I was like, this is not working. So then I bleached my hair white. And I didn't tell the director. I just show up on the set down in Mexico. And I it was fun. I got a silver cap for my tooth, and I got a blue suede jacket on that I picked out, so I'm getting out into the Demolist. I'm just thinking, Demolist, man, it's just like, God, what kind of images that conjures up for me. So I'm like getting into the slick Demolist blue suede shoes, cool shoes. So I go down there without telling him that I had bleached my hair. I'm standing right next to him. I said, "Oh," he goes, "It's Tom." He goes, "Demolist." He goes, "Fucking love it." So that's what we did. The only rub is, after we did the movie, I put my hair back together and stuff like that. But 2 months later, we had to have a reshoot. I had to bleach the hair out for one day.
Yeah, you're messing with your hair, boy. That's awesome.
That was a fun role for me, and God bless Albert. I mean, it was just so much fun being creative with him, and
that was a great time of a lot of those films. Yeah,
a bunch of movies, Kickboxer, Cyborg, just a bunch of
Nemesis,
movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
now, Mr. Ridgely, you have a question?
Mean Guns, another fun.
Oh yeah, Mean Guns, yes. Joe, you have a question, my friend?
Well, no, you totally passed over something from Friday the 13th, and all right. He's accomplished that many of our guests haven't been able to do on their bucket list. Not only was he in a video game, but It's an action figure too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That, I've seen that. I think I look more like Ryan Gosling than I do. That's Ryan Gosling is Tommy Jarvis. I think.
That does kind of look like Ryan Gosling.
Some guy sent me an incredible one today that he had someone made, and I told him I'll take 50. Because he just sent it to me on the social media. It came out amazing.
That's awesome.
You guys haven't seen it yet because it's not out there. But
so you did the voice for that too.
I did
for the video game,
correct? For the video game. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the image. I had to approve the image, and the first one they sent me, dark hair and a 5 o'clock shadow. And it's like, no, that doesn't even look like Tommy Jarvis. I said, who is this guy? Generating this image. We literally went back 6 times. I mean, I had a Jay Leno chin. My eyes were too wide. I said, no, bring him. I would literally mark on my face, and the image that the latest one that they sent, smaller but closer, bring it together. So we ended up with
that's awesome.
We ended up with the image that we have now.
That has to feel amazing to have your own.
Well, I also, funny story. I also tried to get them to for payment. I said, okay, here's the deal. Okay, I want let's just do this. Let's every time someone clicks on it or becomes Tommy Jarvis, I get 10 cents. What's it? Only 10 cents. They didn't go.
Awesome.
They didn't go for it.
So one thing I like to ask guests, especially of your nature, is like from conventions or fans, do you have a favorite fan art piece that somebody gave you?
I do.
Or can you describe it if you don't have it handy?
Yeah. No, hang on. Someone gave me this.
Sorry, Brandon. Hope you don't mind.
No, wow, this is awesome.
Someone gave me this, which
nice.
That's Freddie.
Nice. That is
tall. He's like 16 inches tall, right? And he's got the FU on the back of it.
Nice. Nice.
Somebody made that for me.
That is awesome.
Hang on. Here's another one that where'd it go?
This is fantastic. Live TV. Thank you, Mr. Ridgely. We're getting one of ones. Yes. Shit. This is awesome.
I don't know where it is.
What's up, Tim Melican, my subsoil brother? Thanks for watching.
Tim.
Awesome. You're seeing live IOU, the great Thom Mathews, showing us some art.
I had a bust of that Gary Smart sent me from England, and it's a good size, and I can't find it. I don't know if my wife relocated it. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's awesome. So that's one of one. That one you showed me is one of one that a fan made.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is awesome. So I wanted to ask you about the movies you spoke of, a little bit more about the Albert Pun films. Did you learn martial arts? Because you did a lot of those films with a lot of cats like Olivier Gruner, Sasha Mitchell, Gary Daniels. So did you learn? Are you a trained martial artist?
I was. I had an older brother, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
he used to beat the shit.
Oh man.
So I told him, I'm going to learn karate and kick your ass. So I learned karate.
Awesome.
That was my motivation for learning karate. I never beat his ass, but it did serve me later on. And it was a good, I'm physical, so it was a good workout for me. And, I'm kind of a hothead. I got kind of an anger from my old man. So I know I look calm, but I can go any minute.
So did you end up getting into fights though? Like,
I hate fighting. I hated fighting when I was younger. I mean, we would, but never really.
That's good.
Adrenaline rush. Would fight in the ring and go to these tournaments and stuff like that. But
awesome. What did you train? What did you train?
American freestyle and taekwondo.
Awesome.
Over in LA. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. So, so on another note, so you've done a lot of television over your time, and I saw in the research you did a guest starring spot on ER, which stars one of your great friends, George Clooney.
Yep.
Can you tell us about that experience, and then tell us a little bit about the man that we don't know, because we know the mega star, but who is George Clooney?
Okay, so ER, Mimi Rogers.
Yes. Great actress.
That. She also cast me in Peacemaker, which is another. It was DreamWorks' first movie.
Yes, George Clooney, Nicole Kidman. Yeah,
George. But I got cast in ER as I was a police officer who, I'm married and. My wife's been in the hospital a couple of times with broken bones and shit like that. And I'm by her side. And you come to find out that I'm beating her.
Oh.
So I'm beating the shit out of her. So later on in the episode, I go into the ER and I'm beaten up. My fellow cops beat the crap out of me after they found out from the doctor that all the history of my poor wife. So jump forward. I'm doing a show a few years after that where I'm a coach. I forget I don't know if it was a TV thing or an Albert. Was an Albert Q one. Where I'm a coach of these girls, and I show up on the set, and Brandon, if looks could kill, I would be dead.
Oh,
they had this hatred towards me, and I was like offended. And I didn't know why. So 4 days into the show, one comes up to me and goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have to apologize. I remember you in ER. You were so good for beating your wife that I didn't know why I was reacting that way."
It's like they do with a lot of soap operas and things. They can't differentiate between the role and the man.
Yeah. So
wow.
Well, it was just an emotional reaction to me. They didn't put it together until after. I had a friend who he called himself the modern man. He was half black, half white, 6'5", a swimmer, basketball player. We were in this haircutting salon, and Andrew Robinson came in.
Oh, okay.
And my friend went at him. He was going to kick his ass. He went at him. He went right up to, and he got 5 inches away from him, and then he realized who he was, and he was just reacting because Andrew was he's the villain in the Clint Eastwood movie. Shoot, forget the name of it, but that's what.
I can't remember either. But he was a great villain in so many movies. Yeah.
I think that was the first one. Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty Harry.
Yes.
He paid the boxer to beat him up to look like Clint Eastwood beat him up. So, and then I think he got kind of typecast after that, but that was the one that my friend remembered him.
Yeah.
It's Monroe.
Absolutely. Wow. Hey, Nicole. Thanks for watching. Somebody you're familiar with there, Thom. Nicole.
Hey. Oh, hello.
Awesome.
What's up, Nicole? Hey, cuz.
That's Thom's cousin there. Thanks for watching, Nicole. So, so Thom, we're gonna play a game we do every week called One Sentence or Silence. Basically, what this is I name someone you've worked with, and you give a line or two about them, good or bad. And if you stay silent, that means they suck. So I'm gonna start throwing names at you right now. Kathy Ireland.
Very sweet. Yeah, very sweet.
Awesome. Mario Van Peebles.
Very cool guy, very professional. Solid.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. The man that we've gotten familiarized a little bit more in the Cobra Kai show soon, Yuji Okamoto.
Yuji, great guy. Loved Yuji. He was in Mean Guns with me.
Yeah.
We had a great chemistry. It was done so well that they were thinking of doing a spinoff of just him and my character.
That would have been great. Yeah. Awesome. The great Ted Raimi.
Ted, great. I love Ted. Just work with him on that Western and see him every once in a while at a convention every now and again.
Awesome.
Very funny, solid guy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
John Stamos.
John Stamos. We became fast friends on
Born to Ride.
the movie we did. Yep.
Yeah.
Born to Ride. We shot that over in Yugoslavia when it was Yugoslavia. Vintage Harley Davidsons. So much fun. And we never spoke to each other after that. I did meet him probably 8 years ago. I saw him at a party, and he was with Lori Loughlin, I think.
Yes.
Because they were friends. They were on the Full House.
Yeah. Yep.
So they came up to me, and they both recognized me. I was in acting class with Lori and John. I did the movie with, and they both come up to me. Are you an agent or something? I said, no, you idiots. I work with both of you. I know both of you.
Oh man! So Burt Reynolds, the great late Burt Reynolds.
Burt, great. Didn't really have a lot of scenes with him, so he did his thing and got in and out.
Gotcha.
The camera was on him the whole time, and then they did the coverage.
I know this man you work with a lot. The great late James Caron.
Jimmy Caron, love that man. Friends until the very end, and we found out on part 2, Return of the Living Dead part 2, that we were born the same day. And this was a long time ago, so we would celebrate our birthdays together every year after that, and I'd have him over for the holidays, for Christmas and stuff, and I really miss him. Great guy, fun, good person, solid.
Yeah, great talent. Rest in power. Vincent DeSante.
Vincent, an up and comer, man. He's got it going on. If he was a stock in the stock market, I would dump all my money on him. A lot of hope. Very passionate about what he does. Very talented filmmaker, and keep an eye out for him. He's gonna make a lot of noise.
Yeah, I would love to see him actually get a chance to do a big screen Friday the 13th film. Man, it's fantastic the stuff he's done with the Never Hike films. So Courtney Cox.
Courtney, never saw her, but knew her personally. I mean,
okay, so you didn't work with her in the gotcha.
We were in the same movie together.
Yeah,
but she was not really had any scenes together. But I knew her personally from other things. A good friend of mine was the first AD on Friends. So and then just being running around town and stuff like that.
Okay, so this is an actor I enjoy a lot of work from too, Miguel Nunez Jr.
Miguel, yes. Yeah, it's a wild man. You can't pin him down. I found out he was homeless when we were shooting Return of the Living Dead. He was sleeping in his car. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That I did not know.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he's still kicking ass.
He is.
Yeah, I met him a couple times at shows, and very good, very cool dude.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to backtrack a little bit because you answered the ER question pretty good, but tell us a little bit about George Clooney, your friend.
Well, we met long time ago. We met in acting class, Beverly Hills Playhouse. Bill Howie, and I had joined the class, and he had come into the class, and everyone was like, "Oh, George, George." I said, well, unbeknownst to me, he had already been in the class. He was doing a movie with his cousin.
Oh, okay.
So he's coming back into the class.
Oh, so this is in his stardom, not before the Killer Tomatoes and
way before.
Oh, okay,
way before all that. So we didn't get it off, and then our acting coach made us do a scene together, Tea and Sympathy. So we had to rehearse together, and so I would go over to his aunt's house because that's where he was staying.
Oh,
in the Cinderella rooms, in the back rooms, the maids' quarters, where the paint was peeling off the walls and shit.
Wow.
It was back there. So we would go over there and kind of rehearse, but we didn't really rehearse. I mean, we were just hanging out. We weren't really rehearsing that much like we should have been. then we started hanging out personally, and we did the scene. It went fine. And then we started hanging out personally. And then his aunt kicks him out of her house because something happened at the house. And because he would get blamed for everything because he was in the Cinderella room.
The wild party?
No, she kicked him out, told him to go back to Kentucky. And I said, well, come hang out at my place. And I had a very small apartment. It's like a single. It had a couch which folded out into a bed. And I built in a desk, and then down the hallway, a bathroom, and then a really big kitchen, which I converted into, at the end of it, a closet, which was like a walk-in closet.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing Return of the Living Dead, George had moved in just a little bit before that, but I told him, I said, man, you can't sleep in the room because, you can sleep in the closet. So that's where he slept. He slept it's a walk-in closet, though. It's a big closet. So he made his bedding in there. And while I was doing Return of the Living Dead, he was like doing graffiti on the ceiling and shit like that in the kitchen. And I would get everyone who would come over from acting class, I would get them up there and they would sign the ceiling. Miguel Ferrer signed the ceiling. And any friend, Bill Forsythe would come over, he signed the ceiling. He signed the ceiling. Bunch of people signed the ceiling. It was great. I got my 5x5 grandmother, got her up there. I said, come on, Grandma, sign the ceiling. And she signed the ceiling. So, and that's all under George's graffiti that he did the whole ceiling. And I tell him what to do, and he would, do the walls or whatever, texture the walls with mud and stuff like that. So that was happening when I was doing Return of the Living Dead. So he didn't have any place to go. So I was, I kept him in town, and then shortly he was there for about 9 months. And during that time, you would get chicks coming into the closet.
That's
no shit.
Wow.
I swear to God, you would get chicks going in the closet like
to be that good looking, to pull chicks with not even having a 1-bedroom, a closet.
It was amazing. So one time I'm thinking, what's it like for him to be in the closet? So I go and I lay down in the closet. It's like, it's cozy in here, man. It's like a room. I'm like, it's like soundproof. All the clothes are in there. It's like, wow, this ain't so bad. So a few years ago, he had a lot on his mind. He's in his big mansion now. He's got houses all over the world. But about 10 years ago, he was telling me, I wasn't feeling good. I had a lot on my mind. So I went and slept in my closet, man, because it was like,
oh, wow.
Like Zen.
Yeah.
So we hung out, and that's how we became fast friends. We're still friends to this day.
Yeah, you were in his wedding party. I saw
wedding party. All those guys are still friends. We have a text. There's about 12 of us. Yeah, all those guys are on the text that we have. There's Richard Kind to my left. Yeah. Michael Heslov is above Amal's head. That's Grant's brother. Grant's in the center. He's George's business partner for Smokehouse Productions. And then the guy, I'm to my right of me with the glasses on. And then the guy to the Grant's left is Ben Weiss. He was the first AD on Friends that I was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
And then Randy, of course, and then Matt Adler over to my right.
Oh, Matt Adler. Yeah, he was in the surfing film, right?
That's
right. I remember him. Yeah.
And the guy at the top is Waldo Sanchez. Now, I met Waldo when I was doing ER because he did the hair. He did the hair for George.
Oh, okay.
So I met him on ER, and we were actually roommates for about a year. And then Tommy Hinckley with the other side with the glasses.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, all those guys.
So he slept. George slept in your closet, and this was prior to Facts of Life and his blow up, correct? And then he went.
Yeah, he got Facts. He got I think he got Facts of Life, and then he moved out. Okay. He did a lot of pilots. He got a lot of pilots. I was doing these like movies, and he was doing the TV thing.
Gotcha.
Facts of Life. Yeah, he did that. He went to live he got his own apartment. No, actually, you know what happened was his folks came into town. and they lived in Pasadena. His dad was the anchor for KNBC News for 2 years.
Okay.
So when they came into town, he went and lived with them after he left my place and went and lived with them. And then he started getting some pilots and stuff, which were paying, you know, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a pilot. So he had some dough, and he got a place back in town over closer to us on the Gardner and like Melrose. And
that's awesome. That is very awesome. Yeah, that's awesome that he never forgot. He stayed.
He did a bit part in a movie called Harvest.
I've never seen that. Yeah, I have to check it out.
Miguel Ferrer stars in it.
Yeah, he was an amazing actor.
Miguel's future ex-wife, Melani's in that movie too. They got married. George has a big part in that, and you'll see he's credited for lip syncing transsexual. He's
awesome.
He's got a wig on. He's like dancing for like 2 seconds, but it's him.
So not. I don't want to get you in any trouble, like in your personal relationships right now. But you told me a little bit at a con, and I did see it's like domain. You dated Jane Seymour for a while.
I did.
How did the two of you meet?
We met through our agent. We both had the same agent.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you didn't work professionally together. You worked. You met and then just hit it off, and then just dated. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. That we'll move on then. All right. So this is one of the
no. Wait a minute. Dr. Quinn?
Dr. Quinn, yes.
Yeah.
Pre-Medicine
woman, Joe. Pre-medicine woman.
She was a Bond girl, I found out too.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. Yeah.
How did you feel about that, the whole dating scene, like during that time frame? Because a lot of the actors that I've met over time that I've worked with or at least talked to, some of them shy away and date outside of the business. Did you date a lot inside the business, or was it a mixture?
It was a mixture. Yeah, it was just, there was no rhyme or reason for it. It wasn't a conscious choice.
No,
I was in court with one of my ex-girlfriends and over my kids, and the judge goes, well, you chose her. It's like, God, I didn't feel like I chose her. There wasn't like 15 girls in a line. I go, oh, I'll take that one. It just kind of organically happens.
So
I wish I had that much control.
Well, obviously George did if he was pulling them way back when he was still in the closet. So on more of a deeper level, what inspires you? Like go back a little bit in your early acting career and then move forward for me to now. Like what inspires Thom now?
Well, look, I've always been creative. So whether, I do construction, I've always done it. My grandfather worked for the studio. So we always had like saws and drill presses and stuff in our backyard. So as kids, we were always making stuff. So it was always very creative. I got into painting, oil on canvas. So I did that too. So while I was, acting, not doing a regular job, I come up with these creative stuff to do. Like I get these pots and cover them with mosaic tile and make them waterproof, and then sell those like to a tile store, and they would sell them. So I do that, and make mirrors and stuff like that. So it's always been very, very creative, and same thing for the construction stuff. It's not like ordinary, pounding the nails. It's very creative. I mean, the designers will come up with an idea, and I'll have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
how to make it happen. So we had one client who wanted their daughter's fists to be the hinges on the doors. So we cast their fists in bronze and made them the front door hinges.
Wow.
So it's always creative stuff. I've done a lot of screen rooms and all different kinds of stuff. So it's always new and it's always different. And I get outside and I get to work out in the air, and go travel and
you've done some stuff for like the Osbournes, correct? Or
did the Osbournes? That's who did the fist thing. I'm actually working for her right now. She just called me. it's very strange. I'm working on a house in Beverly Hills that they used to own. And this happened about a month and a half ago. A designer from New York called me and said, "Hey, you got this house and this land. We want to redo the whole thing." I said, "Great." So this is the Osbournes' old house. So that's weird. So 2 weeks ago, Sharon calls me and says, "I got a problem. I need your help again." So it's just bizarre that I'm working on their old house. That house that I'm working on now that they used to own 30 years ago, I had my first meeting with Sharon over there. And so I go up to the house and I knock on the door and I hear, "Fuck you, go away."
What, Ozzy?
It was Kelly.
Oh, okay.
It was Kelly. He didn't want any visitors. She was a teenager. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't go away, and I persisted. I knocked again because I could tell it was a kid.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of funny to me that it's kind of full circle again, just bizarre, out of the blue. So that's very creative, and you know, like the
That's
acting,
awesome.
it's very creative and fun.
So when you at a specific time in your career, I noticed you stepped away from it a bit, and did you start doing more of the construction? Was that a conscious decision?
It just it just kind of took off. I mean, my you know, I wasn't making it happen financially, acting wise. So and the construction thing just kind of took off. And I had I had children in LA, and there's a lot of drama going on. So I kind of, it was better for me to stick close to home for that period of 15, 18 years.
Yeah. So your children, are they
all grown up?
So are any of them in the business, or do they do things outside of it?
No, none of them are.
And how did they feel growing up, like watching Dad on screen? Was that
it's like everybody else, man. It's like my father. I'm an actor, and I was doing stuff, acting, doing films and stuff like. It didn't really impress him until after a guy at his work saw me in something and said I was really good. Oh. And then it made an impact on my father. Same thing with the kids. I'm just dad, and they're impressed when their friends are impressed, which is often. One of my middle son, he's a gamer, and he's always fucking Tommy Jarvis? Yeah, man, it's my dad. Shut the fuck up.
All of a sudden you're cool. Like because you're on the game, like you're cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know me your whole life, but now because I'm on the game, I'm cool. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
It's like that,
It's very interesting. So you and your father, did you have that type of relationship?
You just reminded me of something. When we did Never Hike Alone. So I take my son and my wife and my daughter. We go up to the local mountains up here, Big Bear, and we're doing my scene up there. And so they were able. First time they had seen me on a set, and so he's like, "Well," my son comes up and goes, "Dad," I said, "What? Yeah, Miles." He goes, "You're really good." I said, "Thanks, buddy." he was watching the monitor. Right.
Yeah.
He wasn't really watching me. He was watching the monitor. So he was impressed about that. So that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So why did you? I'm sure you've probably been asked about other incarnations of Friday the 13th. Why'd you go back and play Tommy again?
I got involved. It's a kind of a long story, but I have a writer friend who had an acquaintance who found out that my friend, he knew me, big horror fan. So he was like just hounding him. Please, will you introduce? No, he doesn't want to be bumped. Please, after 6 months, my friend calls me and goes, "Would you please have dinner with this guy?" And he just, he won't shut up. He keeps hounding me. And he found out that I knew you and he's a horror fan. I said, okay, yeah, sure. Anything to make your life easier. So we all go and have dinner together. And during the course of the dinner, he says, "I'm executive producing a fan film." I said, oh, cool. He goes, you think you might want to be in it? It's a Friday the 13th fan film. You think you might want to be in it? And I'm thinking to myself, a fan film, man. A freaking fan film. I have really hit rock bottom. I'm thinking to myself, this is the bottom of the barrel. I said, sure. Yeah, send me the script. He goes, okay, I can. We've also already shot half of it, so I could send that to you as well. I said, great. So he sent it to me. It's the first half of Never Hike Alone. I saw it and it was like,
yeah,
better than some of the other franchise. I mean, this is slick and well done and well thought out. It was topical. Yeah. I mean, the GoPro thing and the camp, rating the trails and stuff like that. So, and Andrew was great in it as Kyle. It was just amazing. So I said, yeah, let's figure out where I can, I'd love to be a part of it because it was, top notch.
Yeah, absolutely. I was blown away watching it because, again, I've seen other fan films that are just okay, and then the production value on that is unbelievable.
Amazing. So I was, happily I got involved with it. And then the executive producer, Barry J., cast me in Killer Therapy that he wrote and directed.
Oh, yeah.
So he wrote and directed that, which is a very disturbing.
I actually just saw that this week.
Oh, you did?
On Tubi. Yeah. Mickey Farge, Dag Farge with you. Yeah. It's interesting. check out Killer Therapy, everybody.
Nice guy. Barry J is a very sweet guy. I don't know where these nice. I mean, Albert Pugh's a lovely guy too. He's a very nice guy. He came up with this nasty ass shit, man. On film, just like wow. Killer Therapy is very disturbing for your horror fans out there.
Absolutely. Just want to say hi to TK Henderson from the Black Filmmakers Lounge on Saturday mornings. Thanks for watching us. Appreciate it. So, Thom, if you could act in any role, any budget range, what would it be?
Gosh.
Any budget range, any role, TV, movie, doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it'd have to be a movie for sure. I mean,
absolutely.
It's my sensibilities. I mean, although there's some great television out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nowadays, man, it's just amazing what they're doing with the production values and the time, and the acting's amazing. But I'm more of a film actor, I guess. My sensibilities and stuff like that. I don't know. Just it's hard to say. I couldn't even answer that. I have to think.
Okay. Well, we know if there was a big screen version of Friday the 13th that you would play.
Oh yeah, I would. You know what? I think and they should start from part 6 and move forward and forget everything in between, man.
Absolutely.
That's kind of missed. I don't know. It's confusing.
It is very confusing in a lot of these franchises how they start something great and then they just move to something totally left.
Well, I know why. Look, Friday the 13th was Paramount's redheaded stepchild. It was there. It kept making noise, and hey, we're here. We're making a lot of money. You gotta pay. But they weren't very proud of it. But they kept making it because kept making money. So what they did was. It's obvious what they did. Whatever the big movie was from another studio or their studio, whether it was 3D, so they make a 3D version of Friday the 13th. Whether it was in outer space, they were making an outer space version of just to kind of capitalize on
the trends. So were you ever approached approached after 6 to come back for any of the Jason in Space or Jason versus Carrier? Okay.
No.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So we had CJ Robles said Thom on an action adventure maybe. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I love I'm very physical. I mean, I love sports and the underwater stuff with CJ was great.
Yeah.
The Western I did, Warpath. I don't know if you saw that, but my first on-screen song, which I was terrified to do. I tried to not do the movie because I had to sing the song. I told the director, I said, look, man, I'm not a singer, and you don't want me singing in your movie. No, it's very important for the part. It's a character, It's okay. So I tried to get out of it, but they pushed the schedule for me because I was doing another movie at the time. So they pushed it a week, my stuff. And of course, what was the first thing we shot when I got there? The song.
Singing. Which project is that?
Warpath.
Oh, Warpath. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. I had definitely. I saw all the cowboy photos, and I was like, I have
Yes.
to watch this one.
Correct.
I have to find it. Yes.
It's okay. But
hey man, you look badass sitting there in that saloon, like you're
go.
about to get ready for a showdown. Like
it went down. I was getting drunk. I was getting drunk.
So that's awesome. So definitely I could see I have an action adventure thing that
for
I
sure.
briefly mentioned to
comedy,
you, but
whatever.
But yeah, it's at least CJ, at least she did it. Helps other actors know what we have to do. Thanks.
My pleasure.
There you go. There you go. Like I always say, like we're a lot of wisdom's dropped on this show by all of our guests. So, Thom, what's next for you, like film wise, TV wise?
Well, we're doing the sequel to Never Hike Alone, Never Hike Alone 2. Just started the crowdfunding on Indiegogo. So we're doing that, and
you also did 13 Fanboy, correct? It's out right now. Oh, you did not do. That's right. There's a story to that. Yes, but we will not. We will not show that right now. Right. But you did. But you are involved in Go Away, correct? Yes.
Yes. Go Away. Final Summer. Also that one. So we got those should be coming out this year. We're hoping maybe at the end of the year.
Awesome. They're good experiences. Good experiences on those?
Yeah, both of them. The Go Away script's phenomenal. It was really a lot of fun. It reads really, really great, and I haven't seen much of it, but hopefully it'll turn out as good as it reads. And then Final Summer is very much like kind of Friday the 13th-esque. They've got a Camp Silver Lake instead of Camp Crystal Lake, yeah.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for those. Final
There's
Summer.
There's some deaths going on, and a lot of teenagers and stuff like that.
CJ Robles said, "I would love a Never Hike Alone to be a great feature." So
I agree. Yeah,
let's keep championing that, because again, those guys are doing it right. So
yeah, it could have been. I mean, it's better than some of the franchises.
I agree.
If we would have added another 20 minutes to it, it would have been a full-length feature.
It's true. Very true.
3.5 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
Free, people, go watch it. You won't be wasting your time. It's a great flick.
Absolutely. So Thom, why the horror conventions? Why do you enjoy doing those?
Well, I tell you, much like getting involved in the fan films, I thought I was like selling my soul, because they were asking me for years to go do them. And then finally I said I would go do one, and I did. I think I did Monster Mania in New Jersey. It was the first one I did, and you know what, man, everyone just coming up to you and just heartfelt, how your portrait or whatever role it was, how you move them, and I mean, truly and genuinely move them in some way to do something, whether it was to become an actor, or because of the movie they wanted to be a makeup artist or a writer or whatever, or they saw it with somebody in their life, like they may have seen it with their father who's now deceased, and it just rings an honest and a great chord in humanity for them, and it was just that's just priceless. So I keep doing it. I'm having fun, and breaks up my weekend and travel. I mean, we've been to England a couple times and Germany and all over the country, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome. Shout out
to everybody. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Chris Majors for introducing us, because it's a love letter from the fans to all of you that have done all these classic films.
It's amazing. It's just truly heartfelt from everybody. It's just great. You know, and people are nervous. They're like,
yeah, exactly.
I go out of my way. You know,
yeah, I've seen it.
Stuff.
So Lauren Lepre, my buddy, Tom Fridley is the best convention MC for karaoke.
yeah, that's right.
We had a blast at that karaoke at Aruga's at the last
karaoke. I think was the name.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I had to.
Karaoke,
Christina Elise actually got me to do karaoke. Young MC bust a move, so it was a crazy night. But yeah, that's great because again, I've seen it in person how the fans are with yourself. I've been blessed to become good friends with Bill Forsythe, who you mentioned, and just people coming up. Yeah, please.
We're in acting class together.
Yes. Yeah.
That's another thing. I mean, I get to see all my old friends. You know, my friends. Now they're old, but all my friends. You know, Bruce Abbott was in our acting class. I've seen him a couple times at the shows.
Yeah,
a bunch of people.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, and for such a huge industry, it is really small in the circle.
Yes,
like a mutual, like a friend of mine, Bill Allen, who I've worked with before, and I had him on the show a few weeks ago, and I mentioned you to him. He said, "Oh yeah, what? I know."
Yeah, we were in acting class too.
Yeah, and he used to run with Brandon Lee, who again were friends. So that whole circle of immense talent. Miguel, yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, it's just a lot of talent that came out of that time
together. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So great time, great talent, and again, I'm glad that you do these things because there's still a lot of actors that are still apprehensive because
you know, it's networking too. I mean, I've got offered to do movies because of just by being there. I've seen books, read a couple books that maybe want to turn into a script and make a movie out of it and stuff like that. So.
Absolutely.
And the horror fans are just truly amazing. I mean, look, Vinny Gustafaro, who was he's in the Never Hike Alone stuff, and Never Hike in the Snow is going to be in part 2. He was also the deputy in Jason Lives.
Yes, wherever the red dot goes, the bag.
There's a lot of Mammoth films and plays and stuff like that. But he goes, the horror fans are fucking all over the world. I've done all this other, critically acclaimed stuff. But the horror, I mean, it's just unrelentless all over the world. Argentina, Brazil, I mean, it's all over.
Absolutely. Shout out to the horror fans. Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing fans.
Yep. CJ Robles, rest in peace, Miguel Ferrer. Absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic, underrated actor that is no longer with us. But yeah, rest in power to him, please. So Mr. Ridgely, any questions for our guest before we let him go for the night?
No, I already geeked out enough. But
you're still thinking about Jane Seymour, aren't you?
I am.
We'll talk.
But yeah. So yes, please, Mr. Ridgely, would you please ask our guest for his?
Absolutely. So Tom, where can everybody find you on social media and check up on your projects?
Yeah, I've got a I'm on Facebook. I've got a fan page where I kind of post everything. I put a request out. Let's get a million likes or a million people. So show the world that the horror community is strong. So yeah, I've got a fan page where I post my conventions and stuff. I've got a list right here. I'm going to be in Florida in May 13th. And
whoa, wait, where in Florida?
Yeah, in Ocala.
Nice.
Spookala Convention. Spookala. In Ontario, Alberta, Canada, at the Calgary Horror Convention on June 3rd. And then the Tidewater Horror Convention in Norfolk, Virginia. That's September 9th. And then the weekend of October 21st, Scarefest Con in Lexington, Kentucky. Again, been there a few times. That's where the developers of the Friday the 13th video games, that's where they're from. Nice. Gun Media is based out of Lexington, so they all come out and stuff like that. And then I've got a couple of movies going on.
Well, go ahead. What movies do you have going on?
I've got the Never Hike Alone 2, which we're going to be doing. And then another one called Jam and Dead, which
Dead.
They may change the title. I don't know. But that's coming up as well.
Okay, Tom, I always ask our guests before they depart
Sure.
to give some words of wisdom for all the actors and aspiring film professionals out there, good or bad, like well, however you want to do it. But yeah, the floor is yours, my friend.
If I was an aspiring actor nowadays, I would just say keep at it. It's like my wife says, we got to win the lottery. And I tell her, you can't win if you don't play. So you got to get out there and you got to play, and you got to take care of your business. You got to make sure you eat. You got to, have food. You got to have a space where you can just chill out, where you can rest your head, and just study the art and read some great plays, and just keep putting it out there because it'll happen.
Absolutely. Great advice, everybody. CJ, everybody that's actor that's up and coming. That's great advice there. Just gotta put yourself in the right headspace and be professional and show up on time and
That's right.
do the work. Do the work. There's no
Know
hand
your lines and yes, do your work.
Yeah.
Because when you get on you learn your lines and stuff like that. A lot of times you don't get a chance to rehearse. So
yeah,
you learn your lines the best you can. You read it with your kids or your wife or, on a videotape or whatever. Nick Nolte used to paste them up on the ceiling in a big room. That's how he learned his lines.
Nick Nolte.
It's got to get into your system, So however you do that. So you have that's your foundation.
Yeah.
So the lines forward and backwards. That's your foundation, hopefully. And then so when you get on set, it changes, man. Yeah. It's going to change, and you can make it better.
Yeah.
You see the nuances, and you tweak it a little bit. You make it your own.
Yeah. You live it and you don't act it. That's what my acting teacher always said. He said, if you're acting, you're doing something wrong because it's not you're not playing the character.
That's the beautiful thing about. I mean, that's what I love most about acting. There's maybe 2 or 3 scenes in a movie, in the whole movie, where you get lost in it, and you don't know. You're just in the moment. You're acting. You're reacting to someone else. You're just in. A lot of the times, it's just like handing the keys off. It's just like moving the story along. But there's 2, and I always look at a movie and I always go, that was the audition scene right there. Because you can tell that was the audition scene, and you know which one. You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
You know what scene it is.
Yep.
That was the audition scene.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. CJ said, well spoken. Thanks, Tom.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So, Tom, thank you so much for this tonight. It's been wonderful. Sure. Anybody who can get out to any of these conventions to meet Tom, do yourself a favor. He will definitely make you feel welcome. One of the best cats that I've met in this business in my 20 plus years, and look forward to working with you in the future, brother.
Absolutely.
And,
let's do something. Let's make some movies, Brandon. Come on.
We will, my friend. And Scott Meany says, wonderful. Thank you, Scott. So you're definitely an outlaw, my friend. Keep at it. We want to keep seeing you do things. Anybody on Tubi TV, go watch Killer Therapy. Keep an eye out for the crowdfunding campaign for Never Hike Alone 2, and because that's going to be another banger, just like the first 2. And Tom, thank you again, my friend.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Brandon. I'll see you soon. Thanks,
absolutely,
Joe.
Absolutely. Have a good night, my friend.
Good night. That was amazing.
There you go. Tom is amazing. We, like I said, we got to spend some time hanging out. Myself, him, and Tim Melican, who's watching. Literally, we were at the NJ HorrorCon in Atlantic City a couple months back, and he just walked up, sat at the bar next to us, and I'm just like, that's Tommy freaking Jarvis sitting there. And then literally, we just sparked up a conversation and couldn't have been a nicer guy. And then the rest of the weekend, we just kind of became fast friends over that weekend. And then obviously I saw him a couple weekends ago at the PA HorrorCon, and just like Nicole, he's the best. Sorry, I'm partial. Nicole is his cousin, so yes, but she's right. He is the best. I mean, the thing I love about cats like him and Forsyth and a lot of the people on this circuit are. They do genuinely love their fans, and they're just genuinely regular, real people, not only to their fans, because it is genuine what they're saying to them and the affection they show, but just even making relationships like they have with myself or whatever. It's just something that you don't always get in this business. Sometimes there's a lot of ego. There's a lot of, even people that it's not even warranted, there's a lot of ego. And people like Tom and William and the Bill Mosleys of the world and Felissa Rose, there's so many of them that just go out of their way to be genuinely good to people. Yeah. And it means a lot. You can look at anything online and see how much it means for someone to get a smile and get a conversation with a Robert Englund or anybody. So, yeah, I appreciate Tom for that. And we definitely will do something down the road from a filmmaking standpoint, because, again, I just like to work with good people that are good, genuine people, that there's no fakeness about them. And that's what you saw last week with Sandra Santiago and all of my guests. There's not a fake bone in any of them. Tiffany Shepis, Courtney Gaines, Bill Allen, any of them. There you go. Brooke Lewis Bellows. I mean, everybody, Eddie Gannum. They're just, again, they're genuinely people that know they're blessed for the careers that they have, and they treat people the way that people deserve to be treated. And that's how they should be exalted for the work that they've done. So, yeah. So, and speaking of good people, I'm not going to be here next week, likely. It's still a possibility, but there may be a preempted IOU next week because, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm going to Florida to work on a Lou Simone film that's shooting right now. And again, that stars William Forsythe, who's a good friend of mine, and Michael Pare, who I grew up loving. Eddie and the Cruisers and Streets of Fire is one of my all-time favorite films. And
greatest American hero.
There you go. So yeah, so it's that'll be a great experience that the next couple weeks for that, and I appreciate.
Well, I got before we sign off. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Please,
I got to plug the few things that we plugged earlier, but then I have something really serious to speak about. So
absolutely,
go ahead and finish up. I'm sorry.
No, I was actually finished. I was just saying I'm looking forward to that experience. Lou is an amazing filmmaker, and it'll be great to finally work with her. She was on my 4th episode, and she gave a great interview, and again, I'm glad that she's making this film, and I think everybody's gonna be blown away by the technology that's being used down in Orlando for this film, and obviously Forsythe and Pare are top notch, as well as the rest of the up and coming cast.
Tell them who had access to that technology and nobody else. Somebody had access to that technology and nobody else, and all of a sudden they're going to be using it in a movie. I forget.
Yeah, it's technology that's only been used so far by the creators of The Mandalorian. It's top notch. It's gonna be an amazing thing that is a first of its kind for an independent film. So very proud of Lou, and like I said, look forward to working with William and Michael, and Diana and Chris and the whole great cast for that film. So you might not see IOU next week, but the following week there will be a very, very, very special guest that I'll announce probably upcoming for April 1st. So please take the floor, Joe.
And that's only an hour and a half away from me. I may crash the party. I don't know.
You're very welcome, my friend.
So again, like we said at the beginning of the program, Steve Gray is going to do a Story Smash project. Looking very forward to that. And also Mr. Scott Meany, he's getting his set put together. So, hey, it's coming soon.
Absolutely. And I just want to say that Steve Gray, I am totally game for that as well. I'm actually finishing up a screenplay, and then I'm going to go work on this film. But in April, if there's a spot, then I'm there for you. He's
already up to 6 chapters, I think, 6 or 7 people.
I might have to do the second book then if there's not a space for me. But hey, I think it's a great idea. It gets the fans and everybody into
it gets the community
into something. And I think this should just be the first of many type of collaborations like this that can get everybody involved and maybe down the road we'll all collaborate and make a film or have a convention or something of that nature that we can all collaborate on. So yeah, it's I think it's a great thing from Steve Gray.
So now the very serious thing I need to talk about, and I hate to bring this up, but it's something that has to be done. Give me one moment. Getting choked up. So who do I contact? Christine Elise on this Young MC song?
Oh man, there is
video.
There is likely videos out there. I have not seen them yet, but there are videos going around social media, and I know people were filming because there was about 5 or 6 cell phones.
So were you busting the move? Or were you staying in the?
No, there was no busting of moves, but again, she, all of us from Chris Majors to Michelle Santiago, all the group we were all engrossed in this. Even Thom Mathews and Tom Fridley and Darcy DeMoss, all of us were at this karaoke spot, and again, I was in a bad way at that night, probably a few hours earlier because I still had my bad tooth at the time. But someone gave me a Percocet that kind of just made it
loosen things up
for the moment. So again, I'm around Christina Elise, and she's just like, "Come on, you're gonna do something. You're gonna do something." And then we were talking about old school rap, and she threw out a bunch of names, and one of them was Young MC. And I said, I said, bust a move. And she's like, yes. So she basically goes, she's like, you're doing bust a move. They put the microphone in my hand. And again, there weren't any words on the screen for it. But I because it's seared in my brain from childhood. So
Brandon went back till he was like 13 years old, and he's
pretty much. And I actually did it, but I actually did it word for word almost without the words on the screen. So I remember it that much. So I got props for it from the whole bar, which was cool. But it's the first time I've ever done anything like that because I don't know that I think I may have done karaoke when I was a teenager, but. No. I don't recall, but definitely I've never done it in my adult
life.
We
were just gonna say Brandon started coming out of his shell a little more instead of it was the purpose.
It's this whole IOU thing, I guess. Yeah, and Christina Elise is looking at me like you better take this mic and perform. So
it's funny coming from a punk rock girl. She
can give you a look, and she's actually going to be on the show on April 15th, which is gonna be another amazing banger of a show. So I can say that because there's a lot of amazing guests coming up that I think everybody's going to enjoy. And again, I want to say thanks again to the great Thom Mathews, aka Tommy Jarvis, for coming on tonight and just being real and answering every question and telling us great stories about George Clooney and his career and his life and everything. That I mean, hey, how amazing was the story that George was getting some in his closet?
Yes.
I mean, you can't beat stories like that. So yes, and Nicole, you're right. Christina is awesome, and she's become a fast friend too, and she's already was a friend to the show. So I just had to ask her, and it
I'm
just
hoping she remembers me from a few years ago.
She remembers you. She remembers you. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for watching. Everybody that's out there, from CJ, Steve, Scott, Nicole, everybody out there. CJ, I believe that. Laugh out loud. We appreciate everybody coming back every week and supporting. And please, we're like Joe said, this is a growing community. And we're going to be announcing some new shows upcoming with some new hosts that we're talking to. And again, it's going to be, we're just going to continue to grow this thing and make it bigger and bigger as we get into the rest of this year. So thank you, Nicole. Thank you for watching. You're very much appreciated. And yeah, that's anything else, Joe?
Just make sure that everybody that's watching right now, go to the Indie Escape Facebook page, hit that like button and follow. Same thing with the YouTube channel. And now, also, there it is, the TikTok.
Oh, the TikTok. Yes. I've avoided it for many years, but yes, I have to take the plunge for my Indie Escape family. Thank you, Nicole. It's our pleasure that you're watching. Thank you. But yeah, so everybody have a great, safe weekend. Like I said, I likely will not be on next week, but I will definitely be back April 1st with a special guest. And in April, we're going to have many special guests, including Christina Elise and Mark Weber, who's a dear friend and that I've worked with. So yeah, please continue to support us, like our pages. Please share, because the more you share, the more you kind of support this, the more it grows more organically and more people see this. So you have a great weekend too, CJ. And I'm going to sign off by saying my end of the show phrase: believe in the power of yourself and the right others, like somebody like the cool Thom Mathews. Have a great weekend, everybody. Peace.